Hello, everybody. Welcome to another experiment here of movie mutations. I'm your host, Stephen Billings. And of course, joining me, my two other judges, we got Andrew Cabral over here. Okay, thank you for saying something.
Oh,
And
you
then,
wanted
of
me to
course,
talk. See, we need a better cue because I didn't know if I was supposed to be talking. Yes,
no,
glad to be back. You did not just see me pull up another tab on my computer for the
I
movie that
can't
we are going
see.
to
I can't
mutate
see that.
tonight.
I can't see anything that you're doing.
Yeah.
But
So,
yeah,
so the movie that we're going to be mutating tonight, or our mutators will be mutating this evening, will be the 1990s classic Batman and Robin, which I have fond memories of going to see in the theater opening weekend at the ripe age of 10 years old. So this
mm,
is a blast of the past for myself and hopefully for those of you watching as well.
yes, yes, and of course, previous competitor mutator, Mr. Julian Morgan, is now judging. How's
Listen,
it feel?
it feels good. I mutated from my lowly position as a competitor to now I get my own corner. I like this. This is neat.
Yes.
Um, I just want to say, like, I'm a little scared. I have a phobia of movies and mutations, but I'll see. I'll see what I can do here, and I hope that I can live up to the lofty standards that my predecessors have set.
Yes, yes. Well, we know you know a lot about movies and you know a lot about Batman and
Yep.
stuff like that. So, you got a lot of you got it to back it up. So
Oh
you're
yeah,
good.
I never saw it in theaters, but this was a regular checkout from the Blockbuster.
Oh yeah.
I always defended this movie. Like whenever I got more, like whenever I watched more Batman films and more read more and watched more Batman media, I knew that it wasn't good per se, but I think it has such fearless personality and charm, even if it doesn't work. I still kind of enjoy the campiness of it.
We get variety in our Batman movies. We can say that at least.
Oh yeah.
But of course, the people that are important today is our mutators. So, judges, we will see you here in a little bit. But let's bring the guys on. First, we have I'm going to call him the Professor. I don't know why. I just think it's a cool name. Mr. Doug McCambridge. What's up,
That's
Doug?
great. Hey, how are you? Thank you for having me on. And I have mutated from judge in an earlier episode to now contestant. And you know what's really fun? Andrew already made me feel super old because he
Oh.
saw this when he was 10. I saw this in the theater when I was 20 years old. And
Oh,
I have
no.
less fond memories of this film than he does.
Well, so I don't even have to ask you how you feel about this movie. Of course, this is kind of a universally panned movie in ways,
Yeah.
but I with Julian, I do get some enjoyment out of it.
Mhm.
You can get some enjoyment out of a not so good movie.
Yeah, of course.
And I think we will tonight. And along with you, your fellow mutator will be a longtime friend, part of the film club. That is Carl Champion Jr.
Well, good to be back. Very good to be back. I love this game.
He loves this game. Do you love Batman and Robin? Is Batman and
I
Robin?
do actually. I take a little bit of what Julian said, but I would also apply that to Batman Forever. Not this movie, but it was the same thing. It was just a fixture. I got it for Christmas, and I probably just watched it 100 times in a row, or something like that. I loved this era of Batman movies because they were so fun. They weren't dark. They weren't as dark as because when I was small, when I was only 7 years old,
Wow! Oh
or
my
maybe
God!
less than that when the original Batman came out. So I mean, even the parts that were funny were almost kind of scary to me when I was little. And this is when it was like really fun, and they were using actors that you would see on MTV and things like that. And it was my first. It was my introduction to seeing an actor that I had seen before in another role in Uma Thurman, going from my favorite movie, Pulp Fiction, to being this person,
So
and
you
it's
saw
showing her range that way.
you saw Pulp Fiction when you were like
Oh my God,
5?
yes. No, I wasn't 5. I was 10.
Okay.
But I had a really bad cousin, and he was a bad influence. But he showed me that, and he told me that it was a cool movie, and so I agreed.
Yeah. Okay.
And I haven't changed my mind since.
I know. You talk about Pulp Fiction pretty regularly, but tonight it's all about Joel Schumacher's Batman and Robin. Let's do it, guys. Of course, Hero Movie Mutations, we break the movies down into three different categories. We have the genre, we have the director, and the cast. Each round, the mutators have to prove their knowledge of this movie. Of course, first the events of the movie, and in the second round, the director of the movie, Joel Schumacher, and then their knowledge of the cast members. So what they're playing for with the trivia is their ability to choose from the three genres, three directors, and of course, the ability to have something over their opponent. We'll talk about that later. But let's get into the trivia. You guys ready?
I'm ready.
Yep, let's do it.
All right. The first person to 5 points wins the round, and you will buzz in with your name. Question number 1. What is Mr. Freeze trying to steal in the opening scene in the museum?
It's not the gems.
I'm just going to buzz in as
Yes.
Doug. I have not. I will say this right now. I have not seen this movie since it was in the theater.
So you didn't prepare for this. Okay.
I didn't know that
It's
was
been
part
quite
of
a
the
while.
prep. I did. Okay.
I thought I would remember.
Listen. I'm just gonna say that he is trying to steal money. We'll just go generic money.
Incorrect.
Oh damn it,
Okay.
Carl.
He's trying to steal. Let's see. At the beginning of the movie, he's trying to steal.
No, Carl. It sounds like you didn't do your prep either.
I didn't either. No, I thought
This
I would
makes this so much more fun.
Does it though?
Kinda.
I'm just gonna say he's trying to steal gems.
I feel like I have to give it to you. It's a large diamond.
That's what-
pretty
yeah.
A
close.
diamond is a gem.
Yeah, there
I'd
you
even
go.
give it to you, Carl. I'm your opponent. I'll give you that.
1 point to Carl. He struggled so hard for that. All right. All right. Question number 2. What is Poison Ivy crossbreeding in her experiments?
Doug.
Yes.
Oh wait, crossbreed. That means I have to mention 2 things.
Yes.
Oh shit. Okay. I was about to say Venus flytraps and assume that I got it right. And okay, Venus flytrap and Poison Ivy for the worst answer ever.
Incorrect.
She's trying to crossbreed. I mean, plants and animals. I mean, plants
Yeah,
and people.
that's correct.
What the
Yeah.
hell is going on? How okay.
Oh man. Carl's just stumbling through this and he somehow got 2 points. Number 3. What's the name of the super soldier serum that creates Bane?
This seems like it's a question that could possibly be answered by the most, or maybe not the most recent Batman movie, but the one before that. I doubt they changed the name. Carl, Carl,
I'll
you
buzz
should
in.
get this. Please
I'm gonna
do.
get it wrong because I'm probably taking this from a festival, but is it D23? The Disney Expo.
That's a Disney festival. Yeah. You have an answer, Doug?
Jacked and angry? I don't know.
Close. Venom.
That seems so obvious.
I remember they were pouring it. Yes, I remember when
it's called
because he
Venom.
was weak. It looked like.
Question 4. What does Mr. Freeze make his minions sing?
Oh, God.
Let's see.
Can you give us a hint? Is it a song about?
It is a Christmas
Freezing.
song. It is a Christmas song.
See, that was going to be my guess. A Christmas song. They wouldn't have gave that to me though.
No, I need a specific Christmas song.
All right. All right, I'll buzz in.
Okay, Doug.
I'm gonna say White Christmas. Wait, it's either White Christmas or it isn't. Right? I mean,
It's the song "I'm Mr. White Christmas" from the Snow Miser from the claymation cartoon.
that was, first of all, I was actually going to guess that, but I could not think of the name of that song. But so then I went
Did
with
he?
Bing Crosby's White Christmas. So don't give it to me. But
No, I'm not, because it's not right.
okay.
Two different songs. So all right. Question 5. Gosh, you're not going to get this one.
Oh, are you sure? I've been doing so well so far.
What is the name of the school Barbara goes to in England?
Oh God. Oh,
Is
Is
it a
it-
real school?
I'll
Yes,
buzz in.
I believe so. Yeah. Go ahead.
Isn't it Oxford?
It's close. Oxbridge Academy.
Oxbridge.
All right. Question 6. How many minutes does it take to thaw a frozen person before they die? In their, of course, Batman world.
Yeah. I don't know the
So
technical
not in
answer.
real life. Okay. So I
Not in
shouldn't
real life, but
Google
what
this.
does the movie specifically say how many minutes they have?
All right, I'm going to buzz in.
Okay.
2 minutes.
No.
That seems really quick, though. I shouldn't have
That
said
does
2.
seem really quick, but I'm gonna buzz in and go even lower and say 60 seconds.
No. If you would have added the 2 numbers it takes to make 2, it would be the right answer, 11. So 11 minutes they have to unfreeze people.
That's not adding, that's combining.
I'm saying, you know what I mean. You're the one getting all the questions wrong.
He's not the only one.
Question 7. What is Barbara doing when she goes out late at night?
Oh.
Barbara,
Yes.
I'm gonna buzz in. Isn't she going out to fight crime?
No.
Oh. That's what I was going to say. This is embarrassing. Is she spray painting overpasses?
She is bike racing.
Damn it.
Oh, that's right.
She is on a
Oh,
motorcycle
that's
a lot.
right. I forgot about that.
She likes doing that. It makes sense.
Question 8. What illness does Alfred have?
I'm going to buzz in and just say cancer. That seems like such a fucking downer, but maybe.
Nope.
Okay.
He was one of the oldest Alfreds that we've gotten.
Sure.
So thinking of an old man dementia.
I was going to say, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to find your answer in reality. Once again,
Oh.
it's a fictional illness called McGregor's syndrome.
Oh God. Yeah, I would have guessed that.
Stephen, how many? What's the?
We're
We
going
should
up
have
to
watched
10.
this.
What's the
movie,
most
though.
amount of questions it's ever taken people to get 5 points?
Have
people ever gone
7 or
10?
8?
Wow,
I think 7 or
okay.
8. Yeah.
Boy,
So I mean, if nobody gets, we're gonna have to give it to Carl, I guess, because he's got points.
well, hold on. Where are we?
We got 2 more questions that I have.
All right, I can tie him.
Okay. All right. What does Mr. Freeze use to freeze the whole city?
He uses the
Are you going to buzz in first?
No, because
I mean, is it as I'm going to buzz in? Is it as
Okay.
easy as just saying it's a freeze ray?
It is a freeze ray, but he uses a specific piece of equipment that the city has to make it a larger freeze ray to freeze a whole city.
yeah, the freeze ray is what he uses to freeze the individuals.
Yeah, I just assumed it was a bigger freeze ray that he like.
It
sits
is,
in or
but
something.
his gun, he has a freeze ray gun,
Right.
and then he uses another thing to make a bigger freeze ray gun.
I have no idea. Carl, I don't think I can tie you.
The thing is, if you'd have
what was
watched if you'd have watched the movie, this would have been all very easy.
Of course,
questions.
yes.
Would have been over. Would have been over.
I was a judge on an episode. And I don't remember this many questions about the movie.
I almost did too. I almost watched it.
It was a telescope.
Of course, that makes things bigger.
Yeah, it does. And the last question I have.
Can we have the last one? I just
And
want
this
to
is
hear
the last question. What thaws the city when the telescope is destroyed?
Oh my God. The sun? I have no idea.
This.
I'm going to give you that.
Yes! Not shut out. I'll take that.
Sun rays bouncing off satellites.
Okay.
So
All right. I'll take that.
2-1. Nobody got to 5 points. I kind of want to give you both make you have to get a mystery pick, but I don't want to be mean. So, Carl, you have the choice of the 3 revealed picks that you guys got before the game. You either get
is this director or genre?
Genre.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I get to pick between time loop, music biopic, and art house.
Yes.
Art house is out. Art house is out of the picture. I didn't want nothing to do with that.
Wait, can't you choose a mystery selection and hear the mystery selections, or is that not? Sorry, I don't mean
not
to
something
run your
we've
game for
done.
you.
Not something we've done.
Never mind.
I think I'm going to go with time loop.
Okay. I'm kind of disappointed you didn't do music biopic, but all right.
Believe me, I thought about it, but I listened to Seal Kiss from a Rose so many times. That's what it only would have been about.
Well, it's okay. It would have been fine. Your mystery picks, Doug. You either got one that I know you don't want to do, a medieval fantasy, or a raunchy teen comedy.
Whoa. Okay. All right. Okay. You know what? No, I'm going to do the medieval fantasy.
Okay.
I'm going to do the medieval fantasy. Yeah.
Nice.
So
Batman
you have
and Robin in medieval times. I like it.
Yeah. You have the harder job because you got the mystery pick. So we're going to start with Carl, who's going to give us his pitch for the Batman and Robin in the time loop version of Batman and Robin.
Okay. So I guess, all right. So what I'm thinking for a time loop film is that instead of trying to freeze the entire city and freeze individuals, he develops, or Mr. Freeze develops a chrono freezer, which instead creates this temporal, situation where the entire city is reliving the same timeline, but only Batman and Robin know about it. And so they have to relive the same day over and over again, unable to stop Mr. Freeze, where they almost apprehend him every single day. And they have to, and they go through that over and over again until they can find a way to work through and actually stop him. So they have to get beat by the same bad guys, and they frustrate each other because they're saying the same bad puns over and over to each other, and it stays super campy. So all the super annoying campy jokes remain over and over and over again until they finally find a way to defeat him.
Is what's Mr. Freeze trying to do?
Well, he wants to save his wife, but he thinks that by trapping Batman, he thinks that this time loop will allow him it will give him more time to figure out how he can do that. And if he has Batman and Robin trapped doing the same things over and over again, they're distracted, then he'll be able to save his wife.
Does Poison Ivy have a role in this?
Poison Ivy would have the same role. She would continue to live. In this scenario, Poison Ivy doesn't realize that she's in the time loop either. So she's doing the same things that she did, and Batman and Robin. She's the primary villain that Batman and Robin get stuck trying to stop, and they keep reliving the same moment where they're all in that they're at that fundraiser, and she blows the dust at them, and they fall in love with her, and they keep having to relive that moment.
Wow, you remember something about the movie? Wow.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, why couldn't all your questions have had to do with sexy women in the movie? Apparently.
Should have put something about that dust in there. Yeah. All right.
The time loop would allow for a series of comedic moments, sort of like Groundhog Day, obviously,
sure,
where that keeps continuing to happen, and because of the subtle changes in what they do, it creates opportunities for the jokes to reemerge in different ways.
So give me. Do you have an idea of what is the thing that finally breaks the loop? What do they have to do? What do they finally do to finally get out of this loop?
Well, I had a little trouble with that. I kept thinking about the best way to do that, and I think that, I mean, the only way to make it a time loop film is they have to grow as characters and become either better partners, or they have to learn to work together. You know how Bruce is always making fun of Robin, and Robin's just chipper, happy-go-lucky, doesn't care. And the only way they get out of it is Bruce has to stop doing that and treat Robin as an equal who is just as capable as he is of helping to stop the bad guy.
All right. Well, let's go talk to the judges and see what they think about this pitch. We'll be back with you, Doug. All right. So Carl with his pitch for the time loop of Batman and Robin. Julian, what do you think of this pitch?
I think the idea of like having Mr. Freeze literally like freezing time essentially and like forcing them to like, relive a thing is like over and over is a really unique concept. And I think it like, I'm honestly surprised, like, because I've read a lot of Batman comics over the years. I'm surprised they haven't done, at least to my knowledge, anything like that with Mr. Freeze. I think that's a really unique prospect. Unfortunately, I think I wish that, if Carl had seen the movie before, he would have. I think it would have given him more.
He knew the dust thing.
He knew the dust thing. I would like to have seen more, like, expounded upon, like all the other characters. Like, how do they fit into this?
Sure.
Why are Batman and Robin the only ones that can experience this? I just think it just needed a little bit more room to expound upon, because the actual bones of the idea, I think, is really fun.
Okay. No, I think I agree with you. Andrew, where are you standing on this?
Yeah, I like this idea of the time loop thing, because what Mr. Freeze needs probably more than anything is time, because his whole thing is trying to find a cure for his wife, trying to figure out what the cure is, revive her, all that kind of stuff, and you need time to do that.
Well, I mean, he needs time, but I think what I would have liked to hear is like that there is a specific goal, because like in the movie, in Batman and Robin, we know he needs time, but it's like he's gathering all these materials and stealing things, these gems and things to help with trying to. So if you'd have said like, well, he knows that there's things all around the city he needs to gather before he can, actually save his wife's life or something. There needed to be, because time is like, I mean, God damn it, that could go on forever. You don't know how long. I mean, it feels like there needs to be some kind of like thing we're working towards here, or some kind of red herring that we need to like, that Batman and Robin need to be trying to like prevent, him from doing something or something. I don't know. Like, it was a little fuzzy, I think.
This, I mean, it does need obviously to be more developed and whatnot. We're just
sure.
It's
not going to be perfect
stuff, but there could be almost a video game type of goal. Like an Arkham game type of goal, where you're trying to prevent Mr. Freeze from gathering all these materials that he needs to save his wife, because perhaps they are vital materials that if they steal them, bad things will happen. So Batman and Robin have to stop those things, but what happens is they can't do it, so therefore it resets the time every single time that they fail or whatnot.
I like that point, because there's a lot of video games out there where like, time resetting, like, is a big factor in it. And so like, I like the idea of like, them trying to lead towards one event, and like, trying to find new ways to solve this problem before time resets itself.
Yeah,
I think it's a really fun prospect.
I'm thinking, I mean, the one that always comes to me is a childhood favorite, Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. Always comes up, where the way that game goes is that you only have 72 hours to do stuff, and then the time resets back 72 hours previously. You know the events that happen, but no one else in that world knows what's happened. So it's a time loop, essentially.
Yeah.
Obviously, movie-wise, you think of Groundhog Day automatically. That's what this kind of setup really, really has, where you've got Batman and Robin essentially in the Bill Murray role of, going through time and then it's resetting. Now, we haven't even established how long this time frame is, which perhaps we'll get to.
I'm assuming a day.
Yeah, I guess.
A
day
in the life of Batman and Robin.
But it feels like perhaps maybe, only Batman remembers what's happened, and everything kind of resets for everyone else. So now he's got to like
Well,
inform
no,
Robin of what's going on.
no,
Is that too complicated?
no. I think it needs the. I think the group. I think Batman and his companions need to be in on it because it conflicts with the personal growth that is what he needs.
That needs to happen
It
because
needs to happen to compel them to move forward. Because I think that was the important thing I was looking for was that to break the time loop like Groundhog Day, he needed to like overcome some personal thing within inside of him. And I think there needs to be some back and forth with Robin at least to make that happen. Because if he does it only on his own without Robin going back with him, if they can't actually go back and forth with each other and then forget everything that happened, then it kind of wouldn't be much of a discussion.
Wouldn't work.
Yeah, but we'll get back to it. We'll see what goes. Let's see what Doug has to say about his medieval fantasy version.
Let's go, Doug.
All right, guys.
Okay.
Doug, it is your turn. Please tell us the sprawling story of the medieval fantasy version of Batman and Robin, please.
Well, there's been a lot of discussion of time, and I think, when we talk about medieval times, there's a lot more time involved in that. I think the beginning of the movie is very similar, except that Mr. Freeze, in getting these gems, what he's trying to do is he's trying to build a time portal to go back before his wife was ill. But with the gems he has, he can only travel back to medieval times. That's all he can do. And he shows up and realizes that in medieval England, there's all these other gems. So he assumes that with those gems, he can come back to the present, build a time portal to take him back to before his wife became ill. So he uses his freeze ray. He freezes old-timey England. Batman and Robin show up to bust him for the initial jewel theft, enter the portal themselves, and then they are trying to track him down and stop him from freezing old-timey London town, let's say. Batgirl, she is of that era. She's already there. She's trying to fight the patriarchy. She is a woman of that time, and they sort of take her under their wing, and she can help them.
So wait, are you telling
go ahead.
me
Sorry.
you're telling me she's Joan of Arc?
Yeah, basically, yes. But she can help them, but she can help them blend in and things like that, help them get around the city, stuff like that. And my last thought is that Poison Ivy is also of the time. She's more of like a Merlin type witch character who is working for the king. And then Mr. Freeze sees her as sort of a compatriot, somebody that he can team up with.
Okay. So the king is the king Bane? Is that because we haven't said anything about Bane yet.
We have not said anything about Bane. So maybe the king is actually Bane. Maybe at some point in the film, the king's sorceress, Poison Ivy, whips up some sort of bizarre formula for the king so he can like Hulk out and do some crazy shit.
Okay. All right. So
all the while, sorry, it's also a race against time because the time portal's just open. Like it will shut after a certain period of time, and Alfred is on the other end of time just trying to keep that thing open.
All right. Alfred plays a big part too. All right. So
sure.
Let's go see what the judges are thinking of this thing. All right. I was expecting him to just like maybe take Batman into that world and like make him a part of that world, but instead he kind of also did a time story as well, but still made it what we asked for, a fantasy. Julian, I know you're a big fan of this genre.
I really am. First thing that I thought of whenever he was talking about is the old Mark Twain story, Connecticut Yankee and King Arthur's Court. Like a myriad of a bunch of different like isekai animes that do like this trope. And so I'm immediately attracted to the idea of Batman and Robin trying to make their way through medieval England. Maybe we could have like him in like be introduced to like one of his great ancestors, one of the Waynes before they came to America, stuff like that.
You're just giving Doug so many ideas.
Oh yes. No, I'm just saying that like I'm a big fan of the idea. I think the jewels, like trying to find them in that way, I think is a fun idea. I don't think I heard him specify where the jewels are. Maybe they're in a king's crown or the queen's crown, King Bane's crown. So, is this where I decide which one I like better?
I think we know where you're going, but go ahead. Yeah.
Actually, I may shock you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Batman and Robin in a medieval setting, and I like taking like these classic characters and putting like the medievalist spin on them. But I think in terms of the central core of the like mutating the movie, I think the idea of literally freezing time and place has a lot more opportunity for me to make like an emotionally resonant story with what we're trying to do. So I personally,
okay,
I think I still have to go with like, Carl's idea. It needs some more fleshing out, but I think I like Carl's idea.
Julian really cares about the emotional resonance of this mutation. So,
yes, I do.
So he's got his way. Okay, all right. So Andrew, where are you feeling? Are you feeling emotionally resonant with this?
I really like this pitch. I like the fact how comic booky it feels.
Yeah.
How it feels like a story, like an Elseworld story from comic books. It reminds me of almost of Gotham by Gaslight, but with a twist of almost of a time travel twist. Gotham by Gaslight was set more in like the late 19th century versus going back to medieval times, which is even earlier, which I think they've actually probably done in the comic books before, or at least done some type of medieval version of it. I know I think they've done like a Samurai Justice League comic or something like that, but this also feels like something you would see in the DC animated universe. This feels like a Batman in Batman the Animated Series episode or something like that. It feels very much like a pitch of that idea, which actually could work. Heck, this could be one of those DC animated movies that come out on Blu-ray every so often nowadays. I just don't know what the title would be, but who knows? But I like this idea of getting them from the present. It opens, the framing of the movie is they start in the present. There's a fight, and then they get whisked back to the past through some portal. Classic thing.
Hey, just like Ninja Turtles 3.
I was thinking that too.
Yeah, you know what's crazy? I was thinking of Turtles in Time, the video game, where I was thinking of like they go through like a portal and they just go into a bunch of different times. This is obviously set in specifically medieval times, but yeah, Turtles 3 makes even more sense. But so I like this idea. And I like that it's set during that time. I like that we've got like the characters. There are certain characters that are in that time already, like the Batgirl character, like the Poison Ivy character is already in there. Plus, I guess technically you could sprinkle in other Batman characters if you wanted to.
Sure.
I don't think there's any rule against
Would the
that.
Joker be just a jester?
Yeah, during the movie Mutations, I don't think we could. There's nothing against there being a Joker, a Harley Quinn, a Penguin, a Riddler. A Riddler. The Riddler could be a bard or something like that. Who really knows?
Yeah.
So I like this. I like this setting and this
honestly,
idea.
It almost makes this feel like it's not necessarily a time travel, but more of an alternative reality that they were transported into. Technically,
yeah.
With a lot of Batman stories, one of the universalities of Batman is being able to put him in like different things. Like there's a new movie coming out, an animated film called Aztec Batman. So you can put Batman almost anywhere.
Oh yeah, there's Batman Ninja, where he's in like feudal Japan and stuff like that.
Yeah,
which is awesome.
So which way are you going, Andrew?
I'm going with the medieval fantasy pitch.
Okay.
I like that. I like the potential with this more so than the potential with Carl's choice of the time loop, just because I feel like this one is already has so many different avenues set up for us to springboard off of.
Yeah. Yeah, so I agree that both of these have a lot of good stuff in them. I do like Carl's. I made fun of Julian for the emotional resonance thing, but I agree that was part of his pitch that I was glad he said, because I was like, that is part of the core of the original film that made it, little as crappy as that script was. that was what the movie was about, was them having to finally come together. And I think that's still good to keep that in there, even though we're mutating it.
It's resonating emotionally.
Exactly. Yeah, I get it. But I want this to be mutated more, so I don't care as much about that. And I like the medieval fantasy because I think it really takes us in a completely different direction. A lot more funner things we can do with this premise more than a time loop, which doesn't really change the story much. It just adds a time loop element. I would much rather see it mutated into a medieval fantasy. So we're going to go with Doug's choice, and it'll be a medieval fantasy moving forward, guys. So we'll see you here in a little bit to talk directors.
Can't argue with that.
Doug, you pulled it off, man.
Can't
Good job.
believe it.
You did it.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked that my goofy idea, although the idea of Batman just like jacking up some dude just because he's a court jester is kind of funny. Like there is some humor there.
Yes. But now we have to figure out who's going to direct this thing. So we go into round 2, and once again, we're going to have a bunch of questions. This time we have different types of questions. We have 3 different categories. We have Bylines Beware, where I give you guys a negative review from one of Joel Schumacher's films, and you have to figure out which movie I'm talking about. And then we have Through a Viewfinder Darkly. I give you an image and a quote from the film, and you have to try to guess which movie I'm showing you. And then the third one is just director's cuts, which is factoids about the filmmaker, and you have to tell me whether they're true or false.
Oh,
so that is your
fun.
3 categories. And they'll be playing for the chance to either pitch for these 3. We have Sean Levy, Tony Scott, or Werner Herzog. Loser will have to pitch for one of the mystery picks. You guys ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. So you won, Doug. You won the first round, so you get to choose from which one first.
All right, let's do Bylines Beware. 1 point.
All right. Bylines Beware. Once again, buzz in with your name.
Mm-hmm.
This came from Kevin Carr. He says, too much of that film clung to the theater experience, which ultimately appears wildly ingenuine on the silver screen.
All right, I'm going to buzz in.
Okay.
And I'm only saying this because theater experience. Is it that terrible Phantom of the opera that he made?
It is that terrible Phantom of the Opera.
Yes.
Wow.
All right.
Nice. I would have guessed phone booth, so good job.
Right.
The one starring the great Gerard Butler as the Phantom.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Where would you like to go next?
Let's just keep going down. Let's do that for number 2 or 2 points.
Bylines Beware for number 2. In order to enjoy this courtroom drama, you have to accept an
Carl,
oh,
client. The client.
incorrect.
Oh,
Damn it.
all right. I'll take it then.
Cartoonish.
A time to kill.
That's correct. Yeah, I didn't even Please let me finish
All right.
for the audience sake. But you're now got 2 points on that. We got 3 points. Doug, where would you like to go? You want to finish it out?
Let's finish it out. Yeah.
All right. For 3 points. Directed with a cavalier disregard for intelligibility, this has to be one of the most anemic vampire flicks ever made.
Vampire flicks.
Carl, didn't he do the Lost Boys?
Yes, he did do the Lost Boys.
Did I get it?
Yep.
Wow. How did I totally blanked. I had no idea he directed the Lost Boys.
All right. Carl
Man.
ties the game. 3-3
Oh,
now.
boy.
A lot
All right.
more competitiveness in round 2. Carl, we have all the Bylines Beware is gone, but where we get to go, you got Through a Viewfinder Darkly, and
I can't
director's
see
cuts.
him. All
Director's
right,
cuts.
do director's cuts.
All right, director's cuts. For 1 point.
Yes.
All right. Worked as a designer and store window dresser for one of New York's fashionable stores before getting into films.
Forgive me, I forgot the concept of the category.
True or false?
Oh, true. Oh, did he do this? Okay.
I love this because I'll just buzz
I'm
in.
gonna say
Okay.
Carl. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I'm
'Cause
going to
if you
say
get it
true.
wrong, I get it
I'm
right.
going to say true.
Yes, it is true.
All right.
I would have said false anyway. Good job.
I know this is so much fun. I love these. True or false? This is fantastic.
All right, Doug's leading 4-3.
Let's keep going. Let's keep
All
going. Same
right.
category.
Directed a music video for the band Evanescence. Evanescence, the song "Bring Me to Life."
I'm going to buzz in. I know he did some In Excess stuff. I'm going to say false for this one.
You're right, false.
Okay.
Nah.
All right.
He actually wasn't he the one that did the? I mean, he got credit for the "Seal from a Rose" or
Kiss from a
"Kiss
Rose.
from a
Yeah,
Rose" video
yeah.
because
Uh-huh.
most of it was from the movie, right?
Yeah. For 3
Let's
points.
Close it out. Yeah.
Yep. He is a lifelong Batman fan and wanted to adapt Frank Miller's famous Batman Year One.
Carl, false.
No, it was true.
I tried to come back in the third round again.
Hey, I'm going to buzz in and say true.
Well,
cool.
nobody gets it when somebody.
All right. Okay.
All right. Well, Doug, we're going to head over to Through a Viewfinder Darkly.
Let's do it.
Let's do 1 point.
Okay.
Here we go. For 1 point, Nelson Wright says, "Today is a good day to die."
Oh, that's one of those little like. Oh my God, telling the truth things. I'm such an idiot. Is it? I'm sorry, I'm buzzing in.
Okay.
8mm? Did he direct that?
Oh, I know
No.
what it is. Is it
Okay.
Flatliners? Carl.
It is Flatline.
Oh, of course it's Flatline.
All right.
Nice. Okay.
Carl, for 2 points? You
Yep.
guessing? All right.
Yep.
Walter Sparrow says, "Of course time is just counting system. Numbers with meanings attached to them."
Oh, Carl. He directed the number 23, correct?
He did.
Yes.
Oh,
It is a tie game, 6-6. By
What?
the way.
all right.
So whoever gets this last one wins the round. Here we go. Hopefully somebody gets it.
Nail biter.
Bill Foster says, "I'm going home."
Going home. I'm assuming that means he didn't like it.
Trying to really.
It's almost uncomfortable. I'm going home.
Trying frantically to think of movies this guy directed. You know what? It was mentioned before. I'm going to buzz in.
Okay.
The picture's not helping me, but I'm just going to say Tigerland. Did he direct Tigerland?
He did, but that's not the film.
Okay. All right.
Got an answer for me, Carl?
I'm going home. I do not. I can't. I don't know what that is.
All right.
What was it?
It is the Michael Douglas film, Falling Down.
Oh, God.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn. That's so easy.
Again, didn't know he directed that. I feel like somehow I knew he directed Tigerland and didn't know that he directed.
It actually makes so much sense that he directed that now, but I did not know it either. I did not know that.
Wow.
All right. So we have a tie. And because Doug won round one, he's going to get the advantage and he's going to get the pick of the three directors.
Hey, can I ask you a question about this? Because I don't want to throw your game in disarray here.
Sure.
Do I have the option to choose the mysteries?
We've never done that.
Oh, okay. It's fine. No. It's I was just asking.
Hey, you know, we've never had a tie. So if you're telling me you want the choice, since you won round one, I'll give you.
Then I'll get the choice.
No, he gets the choice.
What? Yeah, Carl, you would choose of the three.
And I would choose, and then he would get the wild card, right?
I would prefer that, honestly.
You want the mystery picks.
I want the mystery.
How else would I be assigned a director unless it gets? Choose it.
Right. Yeah, that's what.
So he's allowing you to pick from the revealed directors. So
If that's
you get
okay, I'm sorry. I don't mean
That's,
that.
no. This is this is not territory we've hit before. So
All right.
this is a new game, guys, out there in TV land. So you know, we're learning things. So in this case, Doug's you know, letting you go on with the 3 picks, which were once again Sean Levy, Tony Scott, or Werner Herzog for this medieval fantasy version.
Well, it
of
will
Batman
not
and
be
Robin.
Werner Herzog. I'll tell you that.
Oh, okay. Julian's disappointed. By the
I
way.
was terrified that was going to be picked for me. uh, um, so definitely between Tony Scott, who was probably my second favorite director ever, or Sean Levy, who I really appreciate his work anyways. But Tony Scott is definitely going to be my pick.
Cool.
All right. So the mystery picks that Doug chose to throw upon himself, his choices are Baz Luhrmann or Rob Zombie.
Nice.
Whoa. Oh man. I'm so glad I went this route because 100% I would love to choose both of them as a collab. All right, let's see. I feel like I'm going to have to go with Baz Luhrmann. I feel like that makes the most sense for this type of film, I guess.
I mean,
I
sure.
Yeah,
totally agree.
As
Oh,
long as
God.
you can have you can pitch it to us.
I don't know that I can, but I'll try.
Okay. I really thought you were going to say Rob Zombie because of the violence.
You
But,
know,
I mean,
I thought about it because you know, you guys were talking about other movies that you were kind of thinking of when I pitched mine. I was totally thinking of Army of Darkness, like 100%.
No, I got
That's
that.
what I was thinking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah. But all right. So let's do it. We got Baz Luhrmann versus Tony Scott. And since Carl, since you got it, one of the revealed picks, we're going to start with you. Pitch us why Tony Scott is the best director for this medieval version that Doug pitched of Batman and Robin.
Well, a couple reasons. I mean, Tony Scott could do anything, and I think one thing that he did better than anything else was sort of suspenseful, sort of kinetic energy that just doesn't let up for the entire runtime. So forgive me, and just want to clarify that the thing that he did that won was that they would kind of start out in Gotham and then go back to medieval times to try to stop Mr. Freeze.
They kind of get swept into a time portal.
So I'm spacing on exactly how I think Tony Scott would handle the whole time warp kind of aspect of it. But once they are there, then it's Batman and Robin, and they are fighting back against the King Bane, who is, you know, the king of everything, and Mr. Freeze is we said that he was sort of an alchemist, right? That was trying to
no. He's trying to gather crystals to take back.
Trying to gather crystals
because there's a lot of them there.
Right. So okay. So he goes back to get that. That's a little bit. I don't know. I don't know of any examples of Tony Scott doing that exactly. But what I do know is that Tony Scott could drag out those action set pieces and make them fun and fast and exciting. And regardless of who the actors chosen are, which I can think of a few that would go with this, but I know we're not there yet. But I think Tony Scott could make the movie a lot of fun and very suspenseful, and to keep the pace up and keep your heart racing. And I just think that he could get a lot out of and I'll go into some examples then. When you think about a character like Denzel Washington in Man on Fire, you could say that's that's like I don't want to go into the characters yet, but he's good at directing a hero character that has to achieve a mission and has to go and find out how to stop something from happening or try to reverse something that's already happened. So I think that'd be my pitch there. I mean, I hate to only bring up one movie. I mean, there are plenty of others. I mean, you know, when you think about something like Days of Thunder, when there's a lot of scenes where they're going really fast and they're chasing each other, like the scene in Days of Thunder where Cole and I can't remember the other guy's name, Rowdy. They're chasing each other through the streets in the rental cars. You can see that same thing happening with them on horses, riding through the medieval streets of the town.
Okay.
So I think Tony Scott would be great for that.
All right. Tony Scott's got
It'd
that
be a lot of
comedic
fun.
energy. I got you. All right. Let's go see what the guys think of your pitch. Tony Scott. I know you're a big, Julian, you're a big Ridley Scott fan. Are you a big Tony Scott fan?
I am. Ridley Scott and Tony Scott often are kind of like two sides of like a filmmaking coin. The popular perceptions that Ridley is definitely, he has more heady projects, more philosophically challenging ones, things like Blade Runner and Kingdom of Heaven, while Tony was definitely more of the popcorn action director. And I think that's a little reductionist. I think Tony Scott is one of the best action directors in modern movie history. I think some of his films hold up better or as good as some of Ridley Scott's films of the time. So I'm showing a little bit of my bias here. I think Ridley Scott would be is an amazing choice for this type of movie.
Ridley Scott would have been, yeah.
Oh, Ridley. I meant to say Tony Scott.
So you think Tony Scott's a perfect choice for this?
Oh, absolutely. Knowing the way how he shoots action, he mentioned Days of Thunder, Crimson Tide.
Sure.
I think that the way how he edits his films, we'll be able to get there was never going to be a slow spot in this movie.
The only thing, he did have a hard time finding examples to fit the fantasy narrative of this. Now, when it comes to somewhat of a time thing, the only movie I can think of is Deja Vu, where there is that time element in there, but it's not fantasy oriented. I'm trying to think of, I'm sure Andrew's looking on IMDb right now, maybe trying to find a fantasy film that Tony Scott made. I don't think he did.
I mean, as close to fantasy that he did was probably The Hunger, which was his first film, because you're dealing with vampirism, which is supernatural.
That's
a drama. That's a straight drama.
It's a more gritty movie. It's not necessarily.
I think it's allegorical to the AIDS epidemic of the 80s than, more like fantasy and anything light like that. But kind of echoing what Julian says, and really what Carl was saying, if we're going to go with a more action-based stuff, which, granted, this is comic booky-based, medieval fantasy, we get medieval action, we're assuming. Tony Scott, really good action director, fast-paced, quick, fast editing. The movie's going to move at a lovely pace. It's going to be entertaining as all heck. Even his lesser films, I think, are entertaining. I know people don't like the Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3 because they always compare it to the original, which is fantastic. But it's got a good pace going on with it in there at least. But if we're going to go in that direction, then Tony Scott is kind of an appropriate director for this. Granted, you're right, he doesn't quite have anything fantasy element wise or anything like that could really kind of, enhance those things. You know what I mean? I'm granted he's also probably not going to be writing the movie, so that would have to be left up to somebody else who could probably punch up the ideas of the fantasy elements, of the character elements when it comes to incorporating certain homages to the comic book nature of all these characters like Batman and Robin and Bane and all this kind of stuff, and Mr. Freeze, of course. So you can always have somebody do that. So we just want him in there to kind of assemble the style of the movie, if you will, which is what he can do.
I think he's very much capable of making a cool this movie cool, but does he have the ability to weave together a cool fantasy movie? I don't know, because there is more. It takes more than just style and great editing, which is not necessarily Tony that's doing that, but he's probably in the editing room helping make choices. But Julian, you had a.
Oh yeah, I think another strength that goes to Tony is that in a lot of his films, they're all they look cool, the action is cool, but they also have these endearing characters within these action movies. So I think he'll be able to do a lot of good character work as well. And he may not have done a fantasy movie, but if he needs to call up anybody, he can just call his brother Ridley, who made Legend in 1985.
And if this was a Ridley pitch, it would probably be a slam dunk. But Let's see what Doug has to say about Baz Luhrmann, because I'm very curious about this one. All right, guys, we'll see you in a minute. All right. All right, Doug, please bedazzle us with the pitch for Baz
I will.
Luhrmann, the historically musical director, who's doing this medieval fantasy Batman and Robin. Tell us about it.
I mean, I'll do my best here. But the more I thought about it, the more happy I am that I did not go with Rob Zombie here. Because I think, listen, the guy that made Romeo plus Juliet, The Great Gatsby, Moulin Rouge, like, these are historical films. He can do this. I mean, first of all, costuming. That would be such a huge part of this. And I don't envision this to be like the drab Robin Hood Prince of Thieves era. Like, I picture this more in the way that this era was depicted of films from the 1950s and 1960s. Big, elaborate set pieces. And I think, he even does stuff with like Brechtian where there's like nothing. There's just darkness around characters that are interacting. And I think that in this time period, he makes so much sense to be the director where this would work. I'm not saying that there needs to be any sort of musical set pieces in here, but honestly, like, if Sinners can break out in musical and have it work so nicely, this movie could too.
Are you telling me that Kiss from the Rose can still make it in this movie?
100%. It has to be there. It wouldn't make sense otherwise. He's romancing, Batman is romancing the Queen at one point. Of course, this is going to happen.
Who's the Queen? Which character?
Well, we're not casting it.
Oh, not actor.
She's a brand new character.
Oh, okay.
I'm breaking her in for this movie. No, and I think that this could be loud and audacious. And the original film has such like insane, vibrant colors, and it looks and it feels like a comic book. And I think that it would translate if he were the director. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of where I am with this. I'm a little bit worried, and I know we're not supposed to point out flaws with our choices. I am a little worried about the action scenes, but there was a little bit of action in Romeo plus Juliet, and it worked. So I don't think we need to lean so much into that with this. I'm glad I didn't go with Rob Zombie, because I don't want this to be a violent blood spatter fest. Like, that's not what the Batman movies were at this time. So I think that this guy works pretty well for this.
Okay. Well, let's see what the guys think of the pitch. All right, guys, Baz Luhrmann. Not going to be a musical, obviously, but Baz Luhrmann's style is, of course, very unique, very in your face, very colorful. What are we thinking, Andrew? What do we think about this idea?
Yeah, I like the callback to the kind of more glamorous medieval films of the 1950s and 1960s, something that would be shot in probably CinemaScope with, I wouldn't say, I forgot, it's not Technicolor at the time, but it's what post-Technicolor would be, like Eastman color, stuff like that. But CinemaScope, wide angle stuff, there's going to be, horseback riding and castles and all kinds of stuff like that. So that's a cool aesthetic. If you want great set decoration, great set design, great aesthetics, Baz Luhrmann is your guy. He loves color. He loves all of that pizzazz. I am a big defender of his Great Gatsby movie. Don't ask me why. I don't think I can really explain it to people. I just really like that adaptation of the Great Gatsby. It's modern, but also classic. It's got the energy of the Roaring '20s, but with a modern lens, which I kind of feel like was what this medieval movie would look like, where it would look medieval but have a modern lens to it. So I'm expecting energy and exuberance and jazzing it up, if you will. But that would shift it radically from what we got with Carl, which was more of Tony Scott's kind of energy and grittiness and pacing and action, as opposed to Baz Luhrmann, who really, I don't think has done much action. His Romeo and Juliet
I
film
think
did have some sequences in there,
I think
chase sequences and stuff.
I think Australia might have had some action in it.
Yeah, Yeah, you're right. So he does have some, nothing to the extent of Tony Scott, though. That was like the
Yeah.
basis of Tony Scott's career. Even in something like Top Gun, which had aerial, aesthetics and aerial dynamics and things like that. Days of Thunder was car racing yet again. It's big machines moving at fast speeds. You know what I mean? Having that type of masculine, aggressive energy. Whereas Baz Luhrmann films have a different type of energy.
Mhm.
They're not quite like that. So this is kind of tough because they're very different forms of movies. So
Yeah.
I don't know which way I'm going yet.
Okay. Well, let's go see if Julian knows where he's going. What do you think?
I think if we were doing the musical biopic, I think Baz Luhrmann would be perfect.
Maybe. Yeah.
I'm not the like. I'm trying to remain objective because I've been a little critical of Baz Luhrmann of his films in the past. I liked Elvis. Um, I do like the energy that he brings in telling these really bright, colorful stories. Um, and though some people say that Tony Scott's films are often more style over substance, I think it's a little unfair. But I do think it goes a little bit to Baz Luhrmann's filmography. For all of the films that I've seen of him, they're all at least visually enchanting. But I think that's kind of where a lot of it stops. I have a hard time, caring for some of his character work. And in some ways, it's sometimes his character work is just as, if not more, campy than what Joel Schumacher did in Batman and Robin, especially in films like Moulin Rouge. So I think under a different genre, I think would work a lot better. But I think in terms of making a comic book, medieval, fantasy, action film, I still think that Tony Scott has the advantage in telling this type of story.
Okay. So Julian's going Tony Scott. You got an answer for me yet?
Yeah,
Andrew?
the more the way Julian describes it, and the more the way that this movie is heading in the more Tony Scottish direction because of the medieval fantasy vibe. Now,
Mhm.
granted, medieval fantasy can be lighter, can be more enchanting. It can go that route, but if is it the whole Batman of it all is making me want to go darker. So that's why I'm going with Tony Scott.
Well, you guys have decided it for me. I was going to go Baz Luhrmann because
Okay.
I mean, I get it. He's not the perfect director, but I think there was something that I was very interested in seeing when it came to but how we look at Batman and Robin, the original, as being this kind of bright and campy Batman. We still would have maybe kept some of that, but just a little bit different in this new version. And I was just curious to see where that would go, but it's okay. And of course, Kiss of the Rose needed, have a moment in the movie. And now I guess Tony Scott, there's gonna be so much action in the movie. There's gonna be no room for the song.
He has songs in his movies. Top Gun won Best Song at the Oscars. We can say Kiss of a Rose, and there's some.
But it'll be in the end credits, and it won't be in the movie. Whatever. All right. So we move on with Carl winning that round. Let's go talk to the guys. Good job. All right, Carl.
I got one.
Neck
You
and
got
neck.
one, man.
I love it.
All right. So neck and neck, we've got these guys going into round 3 tied up. And round 3 is the character round. They're going to get 5 questions all about the different cast members of the Batman and Robin film. And they're going to have a whiteboard or paper to answer. They both answer at the same time.
Right. That's right.
Hold on.
You're good. And whoever has the most right by the end of it gets the option, if they would like, to make their opponent pitch an actor for whichever role they want. So if Carl's pitching for Batman and Doug has won this opportunity, he can say, "Hey, no, Carl, you have to pitch, Danny DeVito to be Batman." And he has to. So that's what you got to do. But let's see who wins. You guys ready?
I'm ready.
All right. First question. In George Clooney's early years as an actor, he shared an LA home with this sky-high actress.
Sky-high actress?
Yes.
George Clooney. Carl. I'm gonna guess
No,
Julia
no.
Roberts.
It's a write
Oh.
down. You write it
That's
down.
right.
You both answer at the same time,
That's
or
right.
not at the same time. It's take turns. All right, you got something, Doug?
I got something.
Okay,
Is this from the movie Sky High?
the movie Sky High. Yeah.
I don't know that I've ever seen it, but I made a guess of. It took me a while to remember her name, Famke Janssen.
Nope.
Okay,
Not
Right.
Famke Janssen. Nope. Who is that? Juliette Binoche?
Julia Roberts.
Oh, Julia Roberts. No, not that either. Kelly Preston, the late Kelly Preston.
wow.
Preston.
Yes,
Really? He was her roommate?
that's
How about
that's what it said online.
that?
I didn't ask George. So, question number 2. Uma Thurman has danced in 2 films with John Travolta. One is Pulp Fiction. What is the other?
But I was hoping you would give me the other, and then
Yeah, right.
Ah,
You wouldn't do that with me in the game.
yeah, I would never do that with anybody in the game.
Let's think. Dance with John Travolta. Let's see.
I can't think of the name of the movie. I think I know the movie. I can't think of the name of it.
All right, Carl, what you got?
I have no idea if she was even in this movie, but I wrote down Grease.
Incorrect.
Is
Trying to
it
get lucky.
okay?
Maybe it was her first movie or something.
I didn't write anything down because I could not think of the name of the movie. Is it the movie about the mob in Hollywood?
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
Shit. I can't. I just watched it for the first time like 3 months ago because
Oh wow.
people have talked about this movie forever, and I was like, I'll finally give it a shot, and it was good. I can't remember it. No.
It's the 2005 film Be Cool.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, the sequel to you know what, guys? I can't think of the name of the movie.
It doesn't
Go
matter.
ahead.
It doesn't matter.
Actually, one of my favorites. I love that movie. I can't believe I forgot.
Question number 3. Arnold Schwarzenegger's famous line, "I'll be back," which originated from the Terminator 1984, was originally written as what?
Oh.
Arnold Schwarzenegger's famous line,
this.
"I'll be back," which
I know
originated
this.
from 1984's Terminator, was originally written as what? All right,
There's no
Doug,
way. There's no way.
what you got?
There's no way. Because I just added a word. I'll be right back.
No.
Okay.
You're in the ballpark, but no, it's not that.
Oh.
What you got, Carl?
I will return.
Incorrect. The answer is, "I'll come back."
Oh.
Terrible. All right. Okay.
I remember reading about that a couple of years ago. Damn it, I couldn't remember what it was.
All right. Question 4. Alicia Silverstone's first TV commercial was a quick appearance in an ad for this popular pizza chain. So this narrows it down. I'm hoping somebody will get a point on this one. All right, Carl, what you got?
Dominoes.
Dominoes is correct.
Can I lie and say that I also wrote down Domino's?
Would you put down?
I did not. I
was
wrote
just
Pizza
thinking
Hut.
about
I thought
who
Pizza Hut
had
was too on the nose, but I was like, I got to write it down.
Well,
I was
yeah.
thinking about who had fun commercials back then. I remember they had that little, you know, remember little munchkin they used to have in their commercials? That little man, whatever it was.
The noise.
Sure.
Like poppy, kind of popular kind of thing. So it made sense.
Okay. Well, right now, Carl's winning 1-0. And here's question 5, the last question. You can tie this again, Doug. Come on. John Glover has played the father of 2 television supervillains. One of them is Lex Luthor's father on Smallville. What is the other? Nobody's going to get this one.
Is it the blank looks and hands to the face for both of us?
I didn't even look at you. I just know. Based off the recent history.
Yeah.
Father
of super villains.
Yes.
On TV shows.
Yes. He's played 2. One was Lex Luthor's father on Smallville. And the other is
all right, let me just say this right now. You should
Okay.
not have had me on this episode. I know nothing about comic book characters, superhero things.
You're making this entertaining.
I'm trying.
I got an idea. I have a guess.
Okay.
Yeah,
all
go
right.
for it.
Go. Yeah.
Joker.
Hell
Maybe
no.
from.
Hell
Nah.
No.
Thought maybe he was on Gotham or something.
Give me a guess at a TV show that you think he could have been a part of. A supervillain, a superhero show.
Well, I was gonna guess there was that. I don't think we should stick with Batman, but there was that Batman TV show on for a while, and I was gonna say the father of the Catwoman, but I don't think that's right. Unless I'm right. Did I tie it?
No, you're not right. He was the father of Sylar on Heroes.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Wow.
Yep. All right. Well, Carl wins 1-0. And so he has the opportunity to make Doug pitch with an actor of his of Carl's choice for whichever character he wants. He can surprise you before you make your pitch and say, stop. I want you to pitch with this guy.
So I can just hold it.
You can just tell you before he speaks, you can say, stop. I want you to pitch with this actor. So whenever you feel like it.
But if I jump in real quick, you're going to lose your chance.
Yeah. All right. So the characters that we're gonna recast are, of course, Bruce Wayne Batman, Dick Grayson Robin, and Mr. Freeze, and then the mystery fourth character will be announced when we get there. So, Carl, you win the last.
And I can interrupt any pick, right? It doesn't have to be
any pick you want.
Okay.
Yep. So, Carl, you get the first pick since you won the last round. Tell us, who do you want to be your Batman in this medieval fantasy version of Batman and Robin, directed by Tony Scott?
Well, I hope that society is ready for a black Batman because I'm going to go with Denzel Washington.
Okay.
Cool.
I think he can bring incredible intensity to any type of role. He can be physically imposing as he was in
which era of Denzel are we talking here?
So I have to pick an era. I mean, I don't really want to pick an era. I don't want to pick an era because, well, okay. I would say within the last 20 years.
I was going to say at least an age range.
Is that fair? The last 20 years? Because I want to get Equalizer in there because I think that shows his physicality and how he can be imposing and how he can really take care of business and beat the shit out of people if he needs to. I don't know if I'm allowed to cuss. But
I'm not going to make you have to negate his film history just because of his age. So you could pick him at whatever age and still have the film history.
Yeah, that's fine.
He's still going to be capable of whatever.
I see what you're saying. So I would say, the era in which he was, we'll say Training Day.
Okay,
would
Training
be
Day.
a good example of his age.
in his 40s ish.
Well, yeah, or maybe a little younger, but he didn't feel 40. Did he feel 40 in that? I don't think so. He felt more.
He's like 70 years old.
No, I know that, but I'm saying in Training Day specifically, he seemed like he was about 30. Like he was a corrupt cop, and he seemed like he was about 30. So I would say a good example of how that would work is he can be physically imposing as he was an Equalizer. He can be incredibly smart and an incredibly good leader as he was an American Gangster. And he knows how to take someone under his wing. Not a great example, but in Equalizer 2, he sort of took that young black kid and tried to take him under his wing, take care of him, and make sure that he was okay and try to send him down the right path, exactly the same way that he does with Robin. So I like Denzel for that.
All right. Doug.
And he works with Tony Scott. Tony Scott loves
course.
Denzel.
Of course,
loves
they've
Denzel.
many collaborations together.
Yeah.
Doug, who is going to be your pitch for your Batman?
So before I pitch, I have a question. Is Carl still allowed to interrupt me and yell and throw somebody else at me?
After you say the name, I will
because
not
he
do it.
because he picked Batman, does that mean that it's like my turn?
He can do it
Anyway.
now. He could do it now
Oh,
if you wanted
okay.
to. Yeah.
You just have to say the name of your character, and then I won't interrupt.
And I'm gonna go like what I think is like a super traditional pick. And I remember in 1989 when Batman was announced and everything, and everybody was up in arms and like, how can this guy possibly be Batman? In my head, I thought a great Batman at the time would be, and this might sound like a joke, Charlie Sheen as Batman. I think would be fantastic.
All right.
He has the dark, brooding feel and look of Batman. He already has the gravelly voice, but he's also kind of like at that time, especially late 80s, early 90s, still a sex symbol. Like he's a Bruce Wayne type, soft-spoken, again, gravelly voice. I don't think he has the athleticism that Denzel probably does, but honestly, what Batman has that has been cast, so I almost feel like I think he'd be a perfect choice, honestly, for in that era of his life.
Can you give me some movie examples that would help us color why he's a good choice for Batman?
Okay. So what I go to is the fact that he was in Navy SEALs.
Sure. Great film.
Which I feel like, okay, that's him acting tough and everything like that.
Yeah.
But I also feel like he has a broad range. And I feel like Michael Keaton brought a lot of humor to that role, but sort of deadpan humor. And my God, Hot Shots. He's phenomenal in Hot Shots. Nobody else could have played that role as well as he could. And so I think he would really work out well
Definitely
here.
not. Totally
All
agree
right.
with that.
All right. Let's go see what the fellas say. All right, guys. We got Charlie Sheen versus Denzel Washington. I didn't think this was going to be our Batmans, but
cool.
we're here. It is pretty cool, I think, actually. Julian, where are you standing? Okay, well, let me ask this. Who wins the chin battle? Because, you have to have a prominent chin. I kind of think this is a Sheen. Sheen wins the chin, doesn't he?
I mean, for chins, Charlie Sheen has a pretty amazing chin.
Yeah.
It has, I think it could fit the cowl nicely. But I think in terms of performance, as much as I think of a fun wild card that Charlie Sheen is, talking about one of the greatest movies of all time, Navy SEALs, I think this is a perfect opportunity with Denzel to get not just Batman, like this could be a deep cut for an opportunity for one of the other Batman, because Carl said, is the world ready for another Batman? A black Batman. We've had one for a while with the character of Jace Fox, Lucius Fox's son. I think if we want to really mutate it, I say like we don't even have Bruce Wayne be Batman. I let this be a Jace Fox forward picture and have Denzel Washington take that mantle. Like if we have Denzel Washington from around the time like he was making like Malcolm X, like that era, Denzel Washington, it'd be immaculate. I think. I think this is a neat opportunity, and also like it's already going to be a fish out of water story. Imagine like an African American man going back to medieval England, like it already like it would just double upon it and make his traversal through this foreign world so much more. I think interesting.
Okay.
I like it. Andrew, what are you following on this?
Yeah, I like that kind of switch up to where it's not Bruce Wayne. It's a different Batman. I like the idea that perhaps, when we do have that framing of the beginning, it could be, we never really said what time it is in. It doesn't have to be in the time in which the original movie is set. It doesn't have to be even set in our time. Perhaps it is decades into the future or sometime into the future where the Jace Fox character has taken over for Bruce Wayne. Perhaps, and it's a different type of Robin as well. It's not Dick Grayson. It's not one of the other traditional Robins. I mean, that's something we could play with a little bit, but I like the Denzel because Denzel has a commanding presence on screen. I mean, obviously he's worked a lot. We worked a lot with Tony Scott during his career, so they already have that chemistry going on for him. And he also does have kind of the action stuff in there as well with kind of the late career action resurgence with the Equalizer films. There were three of those. But even early on in his career, he was in Ricochet, where he played a cop. So, that's always kind of a more physical role. And yeah, and so I think that's a more suitable role for this. The Charlie Sheen one, while out of the box and out of some people's minds probably, because we know of Charlie Sheen of what he is now. If we go back to his prime, back to the 80s, you have him in Wall Street, where he's playing a Wall Street tycoon type of guy that gives very Bruce Wayne-ish businessman type of vibes. He does have kind of a little bit of like satirical action stuff later on in the 80s. You guys mentioned with Hot Shots, even Loaded Weapon.
He was in Platoon.
He was in Platoon, which obviously is a war film, so there's the physicality right there. It's not out of the realm of possibility that this could happen if you set him in that era.
Now, what I would expect with a Charlie Sheen Batman was that he doesn't even, especially when he goes to the medieval times, he doesn't even wear the cowl. He just spikes his hair up like he does like from Major League. And then wears like face paint over his, like to like cover, the upper part of his face. And that would be his look.
That'd be fun.
That would be fun. But so I think you're heading Denzel too, Andrew.
I am.
Okay. I'm gonna have to agree with you guys. I think as much as the Charlie Sheen pick is fun, and as you see, I was entertained by it with the ideas. I think Denzel, though I at the first thought it was the safe pick. I was like, oh, he's just picking Tony Scott players. But he's just too interesting of a pick. Like it's too interesting. Even if taking away the ideas you brought to it, if he's Bruce Wayne, he's perfect. I mean, he's got the intensity. He can be Bruce Wayne. He can be, compelling and handsome and a womanizer if he wanted to be, but that's not really the story we're telling. We're telling we need that hard-edged Batman kicking ass, and I think he could do that. And I'm going Denzel as well. So let's get back to the guys and see who they're going to be pitching as the Robin. Let's get back. All right. So Carl gets the first character, and now we were moving on. Doug, you okay?
I gotta say, I'm a little bit bummed out. Like, Carl choosing anything, getting the director didn't bum me out as much as losing Charlie Sheen on this.
I know. All right. Well, now we are moving on to Dick Grayson Robin. Carl, you, of course, won the last character, so you get the first choice.
Well, so this will be new. We're going to stick to, for Dick Grayson. Oh, okay. What if we did this? John David Washington.
Wow.
As Robin, under his own father playing Batman. That in itself would sell tickets, as many tickets as you want, right? As far as defending the choice with actual examples, John David Washington hasn't really played a secondary role like that, but I think playing alongside his father, I think his father Denzel commands such a. We did go with Denzel, right? So that Denzel is Batman in this scenario. So I think Denzel can. He's such a big actor that he can put John David Washington down a peg where he doesn't need to go far, because in Batman and Robin, I mean, I remember Robin was, he was just a kid version of Batman. He was silly. He was all those things. We haven't seen John David Washington be really silly, but we have seen him like in Tenet We've seen him play a secondary character to a person like Robert Pattinson, coincidentally, who's played Batman. But I think that he can play that secondary role who helps him to achieve a goal, like the way that he helped Robert Pattinson in Tenet. I'm gonna have to keep going back to that well, because honestly, John David Washington doesn't have a whole lot of roles, so that's the one that comes to mind first. But I just think that he brings enough of the subdued energy to kind of counterbalance what Denzel brings to the movie. So
Okay.
I think he'd be a great choice for Batman, and he's just a younger version of him. There's a lot of opportunity there. As far, I mean, and he's already been in. This is sort of a science fiction movie at this point, because we're starting in one era and going back to another. So in Tenet, he did that same thing. So I mean, not the same thing, but it's sort of science fiction-y, time moving around in opposite direction kind of thing. So
Okay. Yeah, you're doing the pursuit of so your casting choice is like Pursuit of Happiness. You want the father son matchup. All right. So Doug, what is going to be your choice for your Dick Grayson to match up with Denzel?
See, this is where my Iowa Debris choice was going to be.
Okay.
But now you're going to be pitching Jack Black. So let's try that.
Yeah.
All right.
Am I really? Because I'll do it if you want to.
Yes.
All right. Well, Carl's throwing in his sabotage card, and he is sabotaging Doug and making him have to pitch his Dick Grayson. Now, what era Jack Black? Are we talking like today? Are we talking about?
No, absolutely not. That's way too easy. We're talking about cable god Jack Black.
Oh,
that's
so
way too easy.
That makes it easier.
I was going to say going with an old man would be a lot tougher than a more spry young Jack Black, which is of course what I'm picturing here. I mean, I think I talked about certain elements of this film that could lean more heavily into comedy. So I think it might suit him. And I think that if we're talking, first of all, my God, Denzel matched with Jack Black as sort of a crime fighting duo. I can't think of anything more entertaining. The poster sells this film, honestly. Just the idea of being like, how are these fights going to operate?
There's a movie in my head that I don't want to say because then I would be helping you, but go ahead.
No, of course, like his physicality and his physical humor are going to work in a film like this. I mean, him just bumbling into fights and accidentally winning them just by falling on people, I think would really work. Or Denzel using him at times as a human shield and him complaining about that. Like, I see a lot of potential with that particular choice. But then, I mean, he can play serious roles. So if they do at one point have to have sort of reconciliation or them realizing how much they need one another for this, I still think that he as a performer could sell that. I think it sounds silly, but strangely enough, it could work in the end for this movie.
Is there any movies that you would like to?
Not at all. I don't really like any Jack Black movies.
Okay. All right.
That's a tough one.
It is.
All right. Well, let's
Thank you for that, Carl. I appreciate it.
Let's see what the guys are thinking. So the movie I was thinking about was Nacho Libre. Yes. He plays a masked superhero.
And in the history of Lucha Libre and like those luchadors are very much superhero type characters.
Yes. So yeah, he's got, there's merit there. So Carl, I don't know. I think Carl's pick is an interesting pick and it's a cool pick, but is it a fun pick? I don't know. Andrew, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, you were talking about how Denzel was a potential safe, easy pick. You were almost writing it off. If anything, I would say that this could be an even more safer pick. Although it does have the interesting aspect of the father-son dynamic because Batman and Robin have a very father-son dynamic. I mean, he's part of the Bat family. Even all of his Robins, he's had a parental relationship with for the most part. Heck, one of his sons is literally Batman. Damian Wayne Damian Wayne becomes Robin, and that's literally his son. That's what I meant to say.
Yes.
So this aspect, if anything, is playing off of that little comic book reference there for all the people who would potentially watch this movie and understand that. But the Jack Black one, while insanely hilarious to even think about, would create a lot of levity in this movie. Create a lot
It
of
would
levity.
change the tone.
It would change the tone. And if we're going with younger Jack Black, we're going with whatever did you say Jack Black was? It was
You
the
said Cable Guy.
Cable Guy, which is mid 90s. So that's going back 30 years. That's quite a ways. So
Yeah,
like
I think
that
I
would,
think
that's not a bad pick. I
I mean,
mean,
I don't think it's a terrible pick, and I think he's a physical actor. He uses his physicality to as an actor really well. Julian, where are you leaning on this?
I also agree with what he is saying about John David Washington being like a very safe pick. Um, if we're still doing Dick Grayson, he couldn't be his son because, as he mentioned, that's Damian Wayne. So if it's still Jace, if it's like a different Batman, like Jace Fox Batman, Dick Grayson could still be in the movie. So I think in terms of like the safe pick, I mean, his tenure as in doing action movies like The Creator and Tenet, John David Washington's an amazing actor. Not going to doubt that, but I think this could be a unique opportunity for Jack Black to stretch his action wings. And who knows what, especially mid 90s Jack Black, if he got this kind of opportunity, maybe he would take this as a way to, like, do like the Jonah Hill or the Josh Peck thing and just like hit the gym 24/7 and come back. We have a ripped Jack Black.
yeah, I was thinking that myself, Julian, where like our modern day perception of Jack Black is, the rather large, rotund, funny man. You know what I mean? We've seen that mold with many of them. I mean, Chris Farley did that. He was kind of the archetype of that. You know what I mean? So like, if anything, Jack Black kind of took the school from Chris Farley to be the jovial, super energized, husky individual. But back in the mid 90s, Jack Black wasn't that yet. So his career could have, gone in a different direction. And it's interesting how this could be like a completely different character since we're in our minds, we're going with already Denzel Washington as a different type of Batman. This could be a different type of Robin. You know what I mean? Perhaps it's not a kid version of Robin. It's more of a, a contemporary, if you will. You know what I mean? Somebody who's a lot closer to his age. Maybe they're like lifelong friends. You know what I mean? It's not so much a sidekick as opposed to a relative equal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that can play into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Julie.
Oh, sorry. My last point was going to be like, if they wanted to do like keep like the father son angle or keep like a relative thing, I could see John David Washington being more like a Lucas Fox Batwing, who was the brother of Jace Fox. I could see that a bit more than like a father son, but I still think Jack Black is a more interesting pick, and that has my vote.
Yeah, I think we're all on board. Jack Black, though, on the surface is a weird pick. It makes no sense, but this is movie Mutations, guys.
Yeah, it's not.
It doesn't have to make sense.
Yeah, it's not Minecraft Jack Black. It's different Jack Black.
I mean, either way, you take what he's done in other films like Minecraft or like Jumanji, where there's action where he's got to get physical. Mm-hmm. He can do this, man. He's got the energy.
Nobody brought up Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder. Yeah, he's on cocaine the whole movie. Yeah, so Jack Black's the pick here, guys. Carl's sabotage card just did not work.
I know, it backfired.
It backfired.
Yeah, I was going to say, Carl, you should actually get credit for that choice. That was really good.
I was like, sometimes it just does not work out. So now we're back even here. Doug gets the second character. So now we move on to our villain, Mr. Freeze, who's jumped into this alternate universe to get more crystals so he can save his wife. Doug, who is your Mr. Freeze?
So I don't know anything about comic books. Like, I don't know what the original Mr. Freeze looked like in the comics or anything like that, but I do not picture like a jacked hulking monster as Mr. Freeze. I kind of picture more of a nebbish nerd, and I'm going to go with Dylan Baker. Like, I think Dylan Baker would be a fantastic choice because there's that there's that underpinning. Of course, we can talk about storytelling all day long, but there's that creepy, like terrifying feel to the guy, even though, at the offset, you would think that he doesn't seem like much of a physical threat. And I also think that he would bring a little bit of, I hate to say like class to the role, but I feel like, in this movie of such big personalities, I'm going to say, I think that he would be a fantastic villain to sort of play off of these two, and like, conniving. And I just feel like I'm so surprised that he hasn't been cast as like some sort of Spider-Man villain or something like
I
that
was gonna
at this
say
point.
he very much feels like he could have been an Octavius or
Yeah.
a
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I almost want to give him a shot and just go for it, man. You're Mr. Freeze. Do it.
Does he still have the same visual kind of like all
Yeah.
blue? Yeah, okay.
Yep. Yeah. I
Is he
think so.
bald? Is he bald?
He's definitely bald.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to shave that head, Dylan. You can't show
All
up.
right.
Or
Dylan Baker, mostly known for he was in the movie Happiness. He was in
oh,
Revolutionary Road.
Happiness. That's what I was trying to think.
Yeah,
Sorry.
No, you're good. Trick or Treat. He plays a character in
Oh
that.
yeah, Trick or Treat.
Yes.
Yes.
So, Dylan Baker. Carl, what is going to be your Mr. Freeze?
For this, I'm thinking about. Now that we picked Jack Black, I think that we need to reground it with the villain and not make him silly, like he was. I'm gonna go with Mads Mikkelsen. Okay,
Ooh.
Mads Mikkelsen as Mr. Freeze, and I've got 3 examples that I'm thinking about.
Can I
from
change my
his
answer to
work.
Mads Mikkelsen?
I've got 3 examples I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about Hannibal. I'm thinking about what was his name in
He's
James
going to eat
Bond?
somebody?
Lashif from James Bond from Casino Royale, and then also Caecilius from Doctor Strange. Caecilius, I'm using Caecilius as an example because it shows that when he needs to be, he can get physical with the heroes, and the others, and really Caecilius as well. I'm thinking about because they were highly intelligent and they had a plan and they knew exactly how to achieve their goal and what they needed to do to achieve that goal, and they followed through with that plan. And yes, they got upended by the hero of the day, but their plan was still well fleshed out, and defeating them took even more intellectual prowess than he had at the time. So I think Mads would make an awesome Mr. Freeze. Maybe we call him Lord Freeze.
Lord Freeze. When he gets to the medieval times, they call him Lord
Yeah.
Freeze. All right. So Mads Mikkelsen versus Dylan Baker. Let's see what the guys are thinking. All right, guys. 2 interesting picks here. Julian, where are you leaning?
This is the toughest one so far because I love both actors. Mads Mikkelsen is really good if you want like a really like intense kind of villain. And because Mr. Freeze can be really intense, but on the other hand, the thing that's kind of almost leaning me towards Dylan Baker, which first off, he almost played a comic book villain because he was in Spider-Man. He was Dr. Kirk Connors.
He was. Yes, you're right. Yes.
I was going to make that reference.
He almost was going to be the Lizard. Yeah.
And similar to Dr. Kirk Connors, Mr. Freeze is someone that was driven to insanity with these experiments and trying to save his wife. And he's a very sympathetic character. And so I think Dylan Baker has more of that sympathetic aspect that Mr. Freeze's character is supposed to have. So it's a tough toss-up for me.
It's tough.
I think just because of like how I envision Mr. Freeze is always like this incredibly sad, lonely character. And he's a gentle man that was driven to extremes. At least in some of like in the Batman animated series is what I think of. As much as I love Mads Mikkelsen, I'd have to say Dylan Baker.
Okay.
And we can get like those like moments throughout the movie where like he wouldn't want to become a warlord. He's trying to like get this thing to help his wife and come back, and so we could have like those emotional moments where we kind of feel the desperation in his character. So I think if I had to choose right now, I'd have to say Dylan Baker.
Okay. Andrew.
Yeah, it's interesting because these are both very different type of actors, very different style of acting that both of these actors have have utilized in their careers, in my opinion. When I think of Dylan Baker, he's almost, I know this is going to sound negative as all heck, kind of a poor man's Tom Hanks.
Tom
Y-
Cruise.
yeah, I was like, because they have similar types of energy and vibes of the everyman, but their acting kind of transforms them into something else. That's
And
what I feel about Dylan Baker and Tom Hanks. Whereas Mads Mikkelsen, like his presence alone, like his look almost already gives you something. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he's got the vibrancy, he's got the energy right away, and then he goes off and transforms into whatever he wants. And it would be different types of vibes from both of these guys.
Mm.
And they would both definitely ground the film back into some type of relative reality because they can both deliver kind of tragic roles. But it depends on how, you know, how evil do you want these guys to be? You know what I mean? Because
Sure.
Mads Mikkelsen can play evil. He played Hannibal Lecter. He played villains in other, movies and such. So,
I,
you know what I
I,
mean? I don't know how
I would
dark
say
you're
that,
going with
I
that.
would say,
Do we want him to be more of a sympathetic, tragic figure, or do we want him to be more of an evil,
well, I
like
think that
menacing villain?
that is the heart of the
That's
character.
the hard part here.
Even in the original Batman and Robin, by the end of the movie, he does become the sympathetic villain. And so you got to keep with that idea to an extent. So I think that is the arc we're still keeping. And it looks like in this version, Bane / Poison Ivy are really the villains.
Got it. If
The
that's
real
the
villains.
case, then you go with Dylan Baker
Okay.
because of a little bit more. He could do a little bit more there in terms of playing that type of role.
Okay.
I'm going with Dylan Baker.
All right. Well, it's been decided. I was on the fence. I think you guys actually, I mean, Julian convinced me that Dylan Baker also was probably the better choice because of that empathy that he gives off. I do think it would have been kind of interesting to have the dynamic of a colder Mads Mikkelsen version where you got Batman who's intense, Denzel Washington, and you got Mads Mikkelsen who's also intense, and then in between Jack Black's just like, guys, can we figure this out? Like, or woo, So I was thinking, I was like, that would be kind of fun, but no, I think you're right. I think that there needs to be that sympathy. Mads Mikkelsen really doesn't give that off a lot. I mean, I'm sure there's an example somewhere where he was a more empathetic character.
Maybe another round,
Another round where he's
or
an
even the
alcoholic.
Hunt.
The Hunt.
Even
yeah. His foreign his international films where he plays more dynamic characters for them, except for
ironically, so yeah.
yeah. But I agree with you guys. Dylan Baker has to be the choice here. So let's get on to our mystery pick. I'll be back with you in a second.
sounds good.
All right. Well, I think this was I honestly at first
Good choice.
I thought
Good
Carl
choice.
had you, but no, Dylan Baker was a really solid pick for this character.
Yeah.
So this decides it, guys. Let's see where we are. Our mystery character. So I typically I have an idea of what the character is going to be, but sometimes I'm loose with it because I want to see what you guys come up with first. Initially, I was going to say Poison Ivy.
Mm-hmm.
She's a witch character in this story. She's like the hand of the king. She's like there helping him, But I'm really interested and want to hear more about Batgirl's part in this story because we haven't really talked about her. And she's been described as like a Joan of Arc type of character that's already existing in the medieval world. So I'd like to hear more about what she brings to this and who you're casting. So Doug.
All right. So I don't think there's any, you know what, Carl, I'm not trying to put you down. I don't think there's any question here. And I tried for a little while. I was thinking like, boy, do I, I probably don't want to go like too sexy with Batgirl. I think we have to. I think we have to. It's Eva Green or Ava Green, however you want to say her
Ava
name.
Green.
I think she is a phenomenal choice for this role. First of all, she was in Kingdom of Heaven. Like, this is roughly the same time period. Totally makes sense. She's the type of actress, and again, listen, we're not bringing Mads over, but Casino Royale, we can just grab people from that movie. I think that certainly works. It's fine. But also she's an actress that is so brooding and kind of cold, and I like that idea. I did not want her to be a teenager. I did not want her to be a punk kid or anything like that. I don't think that would work at all. But I also don't feel like she needs to be Batman's romantic interest or anything like that. I think she can look sexy, and I think she can kick the shit out of dudes, and that's what I see with her. And I just think of movies like, I always look at her as an actress that is cast in movies that I really have no interest in watching, like the second 300 movie and the second Sin City movie, but she's so good. Like, she elevates those from being absolute trash to something that is somewhat watchable. And I don't know if you've seen any of those. There were two of them, those new Three Musketeer movies from just like a year or two ago that she was in. Again, she's out, she's swinging a sword, she's kicking dudes in the streets of old London town. I think hands down she's a great choice.
All right. Eva Green. All right, Carl, what you got for us?
I like a lot of the justification he mentioned, and the same name kept ringing out as you were saying all those things. I actually thought you were going to pick this actress. I'm going with Haley Steinfeld.
Haley Steinfeld, recently
Haley Steinfeld, and I
recently
feel like
popular for her role in Sinners.
Recently popular. That movie was so good, and she was so good in it. But that's not what we're talking about here. We could mention that movie. Her ability to become that violent, superhero. I mean, obviously she wasn't a superhero in that, but the way she became the monster and became that, the person that was chasing against the protagonist of the movie, sort of. But that's not the examples I'm thinking about when he was saying that. Obviously, Haley Steinfeld was in Hawkeye. She was Kate Bishop. She played a superhero in that movie, so she's already familiar with that entire realm. She's already been in other blockbuster movies, like she was Bumblebee. I mean, that was like, she would be, that's almost like an audition for this type of role, because she was like she was just like a lonesome teenager, but also super resilient and able to, fight for herself and be on her lonesome. So the fact that she was living in the medieval times by herself for all this time, doing the things that she was doing, I think that really speaks to that role. And she's just, I mean, you saw in True Grit, I mean, she's an independent girl who thinks for herself, and she's very strong, and she has strong opinions, just kind of like what they were kind of going with Alicia Silverstone in the original Batman and Robin, who was that independent type person that would go out on her own and ride the motorcycles or do the things that she did by herself. So I think with those three examples, I think that she's a good pick for Batgirl.
All right, Ava Green versus,
and she's got that appeal too, that aesthetic appeal. She looks great. She's a beautiful girl.
Yes. All right, Haley Steinfeld versus Eva Green. Let's see what the guys decide. All right, Julian, Andrew, what you thinking? Andrew, we're gonna start with you.
Yeah, the Eva Green one was kind of a slam dunk pick, because of her super underrated actress, in my opinion. I don't think she gets enough credit for being as great as she is, because although she's in kind of a lot of her projects don't get, a lot of fanfare as much as some other actresses of her time. Obviously, Casino Royale, big project, and some of the other things she's done as well. She's a really good actress. Stunning screen presence, really good, looks fantastic at all times. I think Penny Dreadful, which is one of her TV work that she did, is also really good. Even in lesser work, she's able to at least be captivating in, or at least be good in it. Like the mentioning of the sequel to 300, which was I can't even remember the title. It's like 300 Rise of something. and she's the standout in that movie. Like she's the only thing I remember about that movie. And yeah, she just has that ability. The Haley Steinfeld choice is a newer, flashier choice, I would say, because she's really hot and popular right now.
Yeah.
You know, she's got the physicality with the Hawkeye role, with the Sinners role. She's got the range. She's got the screen presence. She's got the acting ability that we knew about from when she did um what was the western that she was in?
True Grit.
True Grit. Thank you. I completely blanked on that. She did it. She was in True Grit when she was younger, so we know she can handle any type of dialogue and any type of moment that's not too big for her. So these are both really good picks. But Eva Green for me is just maybe a little bit personal bias. That's the one I go with.
Yeah. Okay. Julian?
As much as I like Haley Steinfeld, Sinners was great. True Grit, she's the main character of that movie. Still nonsense. She got nominated for Best Supporting Actress when Maddie Ross is the main character. But I gotta go with Andrew. It's when I think of Batgirl, Batgirl has to be a contemporary of Batman. And in the end, she's great in Hawkeye. I couldn't see Haley Steinfeld being an equal to Denzel's Batman. And Eva Green just has that look, just her eyes alone can pierce into a soul. So imagine her with the bat cowl, trying to converse and it's be intimidating. I just think works a lot better.
And just imagine it's the cowl's not made of rubber, it's made of iron, it's like a mask, like a medieval mask instead of
yeah, and
Yeah,
also
because I can imagine being set in that time, they would have to retrofit the bat suit, retrofit the Robin suit, and the Batgirl suit. And if Batgirl, I believe we established that she's from that time already.
Yeah, she's from that time. That's what I'm saying. She's not gonna have the normal bat
No,
suit.
she's gonna have chainmail, and she's gonna have a significant medieval type of helmet. And we've already seen she's already done period pieces like that. She was in that show Camelot, which got one season. It's kind of a one-season wonder. It was one of those shows where I think it was initially renewed, and then what happened is it got canceled afterward because they couldn't schedule all of the actors to do another season or something like that. One of those weird things. I don't know if it was financing or whatever the case may be, but she was in that show. So that's a medieval fantasy because it's dealing with Arthur and Merlin and magic and all that kind of stuff. So go on.
And also the sequel to 300, where she played the main villain of the movie.
The prequel.
The prequel, interquel, sequel. It's
it's a prequel, sidequel, and sequel. It's one of those.
Yeah, sure.
But she gives such an intimidating air of power in that role. Say what you will if you like the movie or not, she was a standout, and that already shows that she looks cool with a sword. And plus she can keep her British accent.
Yeah, true. Also, we were talking about how impactful she is already established in this movie of being this kind of feminist outlaw, perhaps a Robin Hood-esque character. We don't really know, but people don't realize how big of an impact the Eva Green character had in Casino Royale. Vespa really messed up the James Bond character emotionally for a while. Pretty much throughout that series, he was emotionally, distraught over that whole scenario. She plays very impactful characters.
If Eva Green was in love with me and she died, I'd be messed up too.
Probably. I hear that.
But I think it's unanimous. And the only thing that really made me think Haley Steinfeld would have been a good pick is her age. I think she comes off as a little younger, which kind of plays more into how Barbara Gordon is in this story. Eva Green would kind of be almost the same age, similarly as our Denzel. So the age kind of is wonky, but it doesn't really matter in this case. I don't think. I do think it'll be a funny scene when she shows up, Eva Green shows up, and Jack Black's like, "Damn, she's fucking hot." Wants to he keeps hitting on her, and she's doesn't want any of it.
Yeah.
So she's just too focused, and she's hard, and she just wants to help defeat King Bane.
Yeah.
So
it could be a funny thing where Batman is trying to not kill King Bane, but maybe Batgirl is. So they're trying to deal with that while Mr. Freeze is trying to steal the jewels. as
Yeah.
well. It's like a three-way conflict at the end.
Yeah, I mean, this. I think she's going to play a role as in helping Batman and
Yeah.
Robin go in that realm. They're not familiar with this place, so she'll be able to help them. That's her part. So there we go. Eva Green is our Barbara Gordon, and Doug takes the game. Guys,
Wow.
what a wild ride!
Right?
Ties all over the place. It's great. Fantastic game, Carl. That was a lot of fun.
Good game. Good
Nobody
game.
was good at trivia, but the ideas were there. Now, I will say, Carl has one more opportunity here to at least take co-credit of this masterpiece. If he can give me a better title and tagline than you, Doug, then you guys have to share credit. So, Carl, what is your title and tagline for this medieval fantasy Batman and Robin, directed by Tony Scott, starring Denzel Washington, Jack Black, Eva Green, and Dylan Baker?
I guess we gotta kind of stick to this medieval concept here. So, did we establish the name of the city that they traveled back to? Can it
No,
still be Gotham?
it can still be Gotham.
Oh,
Sure.
that would be fun. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm thinking maybe the last night, KNIGHT, of Gotham.
Last Night of Gotham.
The
Mm.
last night of Gotham.
And what's your tagline?
How about the night is long, but the legacy is longer?
Okay. The night is long, but the legacy is longer. Wow. Carl just pulled some nice stuff out of his ass.
Boy. All right.
Which is where I'm guessing Mr. Freeze hides all them gems. He's Doug,
Man.
come on. What
All
you
right.
got?
Okay, so here's the thing. Here's what we're gonna have to do with this. We might have to lawyer up just a little bit. Just a little bit. We might get some pushback here because I think a perfect title would be A Dark Knight's Tale. Like it feels too spot on, but I almost feel like we have to go for it. And I did like, I don't know if it would be a tagline or a subhead, but Bad Out of Time.
Okay.
So I don't know. I kind of like Carl's sometimes better. So, not kind of. I definitely do. So.
Well, it's up to the judges. So we got The Last Night of Gotham. What was the first part of your tagline, Carl?
The night is long.
The night is long, but the legacy is longer.
Yes.
And then we have The Dark Knight's Tale. And what was the tagline again, Doug?
Bad Out of Time. More
Bad
like a
Out of Time.
subtitle. I don't know.
Yeah, that
It
works.
makes sense. Contextually, it makes sense.
Julian, where you falling?
It's tough. I like the tagline for Carl's. I didn't really get a lot of how the theme of the film goes into legacy. I think I was expecting something to do with ice and something freezing. Like the night is cold. That I think that would work a little better. But A Dark Knight's Tale, I'm a sucker for a good pun.
All right. So Julian's going Doug.
If we could combine them,
Honestly, this is how it goes most of the time. One person gives me a good title, and the other person gives me a good tagline. This is how it goes almost every time. But you got to pick. We got to pick one.
Carl, what was the name of your movie?
The Last Night of Gotham.
The Last Night. KNIGHT.
Yeah, there is actually. I've been holding on to the entire show, but there is actually a Batman. Because I didn't want to give anyone any help. There is a medieval Batman comic called The Dark Knight of Steel, which is really good. But The Last Night of Gotham, that sounds like a 6-issue limited run, and it sounds perfect. So
thank you.
I think the tagline could have maybe use a little reworking. I think the last night of Gotham sounds great.
Okay. All right. So Julian's going Carl. Andrew.
Yeah, yeah, Carl's title and tagline was so smooth. Like just kind of came out of nowhere. I was very much liked it. Yeah, it's tough because you're right. Because every time we do this, it's always like a title and a tagline from both contest mutators. Like they would have fit so well together. I do like a Dark Knight's Tale because it does play on the whole Knight's Tale thing, which is kind of fun. Um, but the first one is so Batman-esque that it plays on my bias so much. That I go with Carl. I like that
All
one.
right. Well, it's decided, but I would have went Dark Knight's Tale. I think that was a little more fun and clever. Kind of fits, I think, some of the vibes of the movie that we made. But all right. Well, Carl, he pitched in with the title, and that just bumps him up to
Nice.
being a part of this project. So you guys, both co-writers of this new movie, The Last Night of Gotham.
That's a good one.
Congratulations, guys.
That sounds like a fun movie to me.
Yeah,
I'll
Carl,
watch it.
I'll reach
I
out.
love
We can
Jack
start.
Black.
Yeah,
Jack
we can
Black
start
is so
working on
fun.
this at some point. We can put together a script, all that stuff.
Yeah,
Maybe
get
if I
this-
had been on time, I would have carried a little more favor with the judges.
Oh, you think I was playing them earlier? I was just
Mm.
getting them on my side. If
No.
anything, I was pitting Julian against me before you showed up.
Yeah, no, you didn't even know that. But guys, it was a really fun game, all over the place.
Yes.
I loved it. Doug, you have a podcast.
I do. Good Times, Great Movies. It's an 80s movie podcast. We've been doing it for 10
Very
years. We basically
Wow.
take films, good, bad, classics, things you've never heard from, and kind of kick them around a little bit, have some fun with it. So check it out wherever you get shows.
I had no idea what I was up against here.
Yeah, Carl, you have a film club, and you have 2 new cars that you just bought tonight.
Yeah, the film club has unfortunately deteriorated into madness, as it so often happens. But we had a great run, and there will always be the film club movie show. Will always be a special part right here that you guys are a part of. So,
Well, Carl's a good guy, and he's a fun guy. If you reach out to him, if you like him and you want to be friends with him, I'm sure he'll oblige, or meet him in the film club. So, but everybody, thanks, judges, Andrew, Julian, thanks for joining me tonight.
It was a pleasure. I had so much fun.
Yeah, you guys
Yes, it
gave a
was
lot
fun.
of good comic book facts that I would have never been able to give for this type of thing. So, everybody, I hope you enjoyed this mutation. And we'll see you in the next experiment. Good night.
Bye-bye.